All right, we are live for another Enrich Life monthly workshop. It's going to be an awesome night. If you experience results, or if you have the same experience as my clients had earlier today, you're going to leave this workshop feeling excited about life, feeling more in control of your life, and overall just more empowered to achieve the goals and create the life that you want to create, because that's what this is all about. So enough about me. I'm going to screen share my presentation, so you won't see my face during the workshop. I'm going to load the presentation, and we're going to get going. I did email the workbook before this presentation, so there's a workbook in your inbox right now. I would, if you didn't get that email or didn't see that email, go to your inbox, download the workbook, print it off before we start. It's a nice handy little workbook where you can actually write your get your stuff out on the table and figure it out as we go through the workshop. So it's highly recommend grabbing the workbook, printing it off. It is in color, so you might want to print it in black and white to save yourself some ink. So let's get going with the presentation. All right, guys. So again, the Enrich Life Live online workshop. Enrich Life is a coaching and consulting company ultimately that helps people achieve more success in life, but maintain that work-life balance so that we can feel good while being successful and not be, you know, a drained, exhausted, overwhelmed, crazy maniac as we all pursue our goals and our dreams and that good life that we're all looking for. So it's kind of, we're all about feeling good, and we're all about achieving more success. So today's agenda was we're going to learn how to achieve higher levels of success without constantly being overwhelmed and exhausted, as I mentioned before. So let's just kind of get right into it. So again, I'm Neil Freilich, and I am a certified, oh, Christine, hello. Okay, perfect. So I now know it's working. So I'm going to keep on rolling. So I'm a certified high performance coach, an Enrich Life coach. I'm an entrepreneur. I own a few different businesses and operate a few different businesses. We have tons of helpers and tons of people working with our team, and it's truly been an amazing experience so far. I've ultimately dedicated my life to helping people all over the world create better lifestyles, create lives that are just more happy, more fulfilling, and helping people find out, you know, what it is for them that is going to do that for them. Helping people strategically set up their lives in a way that allows them to become empowered and more successful and create the reality that they truly desire, and that fulfills them on that deeper soul level. So that's kind of what I believe I'm here to do, is help people do that. I'm also a husband. I'm a soon-to-be father. My wife is currently 6 months pregnant, so we have a child on the way. I'm a business partner, a family member, a friend. I love nature. I love hiking. I love exercising. I love traveling. I love personal growth. I love going to live personal growth events and being around other people who are driven and motivated and excited about life. I love playing sports, I love reading, and that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I'm basically just kind of a high energy, fast-paced kind of guy, and I like a lot of excitement, and I like taking risks in life, and I love helping people, and I love helping make the world a better place. So that's basically me in a nutshell. But enough about me. We're here about you tonight, and we're here to get into your life and actually and so I can take you through a coaching session and show you a bit of what I actually do as an Enrich Life coach. Before we really get going, I want to just let you guys know, if you stick around to the end, if you make it through the whole webinar or workshop presentation, and I do keep track of that, so I do know who stays and who doesn't. I'm going to email you the presentation to go along with your workbook after. And also, again, in this webinar, in this workshop, it's all about you. It's all about moving the needle in your life and helping you feel better about your stuff and get you moving in the right direction. I'm not here to technically sell anything at this webinar, but I do have something to offer you at the end that you may want to stick around for. Again, I'm not here to sell anything. This is all about you, but do stick around till the end and see what I have in store for you after the workshop. And also, if you stick around to the end, I'll email you the presentation tomorrow. Also, the recording does get emailed out, so if you do have to cut out halfway through or whatever, I will email you the recording tomorrow, and you will get that in your inbox, so no worries there. So here's the big question that, you know, I've been wondering a lot. This is like the question that runs through my head the most, and it's basically what I do my whole life is I just observe people. And a huge question that I have for myself, and a huge question I want to ask you is what do you believe is the difference between people who perform at higher levels and people who do not? So what is the difference between people who are really, you know, knocking life out of the park? Their career is bumping, their finances are good, their relationships are happy, they seem super happy, you know, they're healthy, they're fit. I don't know if you know anyone like that's that extremely successful, but you know, what do you believe is the main difference between people who achieve success and people who are not as successful? So I'll let you think about that for a moment. Ultimately, what it comes down to, you probably came up with answers like, well, they're taking action and procrastinating, you know, how lazy they are, that type of stuff. And that's exactly what it is. And with Enriched Life, the only three things in life holding anybody back, blocking people's success, the top three things, I guess we could say, blocking your success would be your fear. So your fear, and we're going to get into that a little bit more, but fear is ultimately stems from our limiting beliefs. So light blocker number 2 is our beliefs. So our limiting beliefs about ourselves are you know, it is negative beliefs, but they're more so limiting beliefs. I'm going to get into those the next slide, but our limiting beliefs ultimately cause us to react to fear a lot in life and react from this fear state, ultimately stifling our growth, stifling our action, and not allowing us to truly pursue, you know, that life that we really, really want. And we're going to be talking a lot about self-limiting beliefs in this workshop today, and we're going to kind of get to the bottom of your self-limiting beliefs, because everybody has them, and everybody has certain ones that are very stand-outish once we start becoming more self-aware, and once we start really looking at how we think and how we behave and how we react and stuff like that during the day. So our limiting beliefs, which we're going to be delving into what your limiting beliefs are shortly, are the cause of all our fear, which stifles us to not take action, which then leads to distractions. So I talked to a client today, and when I said the word distraction, she had a little giggle. She gave a little giggle, and it was like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Distractions, your cell phone, your Facebook, you know, a couple drinks at night, or whatever it might be, watching cable TV, just little habits that we've created during the day that are ultimately distractions. And you know, we're doing those distractions because we're avoiding the action that we know we need to be taking to become more successful and happier in life. And it all stems, as I just explained, our fear and our distractions all stem from our limiting beliefs, ultimately what we believe about ourselves. You know, you may or may not have heard of the law of attraction, that type of thing, but ultimately our beliefs do play a large role in creating our reality. And the more you can become your own cheerleader or your own best friend and start giving yourself permission in life to start to really go for those things you want, or give yourself permission to have those things you want, or to become that person that you truly want to be, it all stems from our limiting beliefs about ourselves. And the tricky part of these limiting beliefs is most of them reside in our subconscious mind, and we've had them since, you know, literally the day we were born, because they were passed on from our parents and our grandparents. And ultimately they're a little bit tricky, but once you kind of pinpoint what they are and start becoming aware of how they are blocking your success in life, that's when the real fun begins. And that's when you can start feeling more in control and in the power of your life again, because they are your beliefs and we can change them. As you may have noticed at this point, this is kind of like a you versus you battle. And that's really where we're starting. And the number one thing blocking you in life is you. It's the only thing blocking you. So when we break it down to the top 3 life blockers, that's where we start, with our limiting beliefs about ourselves. So you may recognize this image that I have on the screen right now. We call this the brick wall. And, you keep hitting the brick wall, So you're giving her in life more time and effort, and you keep hitting the brick wall, and you're overwhelmed and you're exhausted, and it seems like life is just on a treadmill or a hamster wheel. It's like you're spinning your tires, but you're trying and you're exhausted, and you can't even imagine how the heck, any major changes could happen based on just how you feel from day to day. It's like impossible to even see how it could fit in. And there's a reason that we feel like that. There's a reason that we repeatedly hit the brick wall over and over, and it's simply that something new and different must happen inside of you. Something new and different must happen within your belief system for you to break through that wall and get to the other side, because our beliefs create, which I'll get into in a little bit, called the belief cycle, but our beliefs create our actions and our actions create our results. So the only way, if you're in a place where you are continually hitting the brick wall and you feel trapped and stuck and you feel like life's moving the pace of a turtle, even though you feel like you're going 100 miles an hour, we have some work to do on your belief system, ultimately flipping your limiting beliefs. So we call our limiting beliefs, and if you noticed in your workbook, if any of you printed the workbook, you can fill out the empty spots in your workbook as we go. The correct content is in the slide, in the presentation, so you can fill out the workbook as you go. So in your workbook, this will be blank, so just fill out one by one as we go. So another term for our limiting belief system are our fear stories. So these are simply just we like to just call the stories that we've told ourselves that aren't necessarily true. If you've ever heard the term, the acronym FEAR, false evidence appearing real. 99% of the stuff we worry about, we angst about, we fear about doesn't even really ever happen. It's all just a figment of our imagination, and so is all of fear. And ultimately, it's not real. It's just the stories that we're telling ourselves. So when we can start to create a different relationship with our own mind and with our limiting belief system and with our fear stories, and when we can start to identify which fear stories are prevalent in our life that are repeating day after day after day, we can start catching ourselves, and we can actually start flipping our fear stories into feeling excited and ready. So it's kind of like we're flipping the acronym from false evidence appearing real to feeling excited and ready. And it's taking those old self-limiting subconscious fear stories that we have that have been blocking us every day consistently for the most part of our lives, and we're going to start flipping them and giving ourselves permission to start choosing different beliefs for ourselves, ones that support a positive life, a more fulfilling life, one that support your goals and your dreams and support you. Beliefs that work with you instead of against us. And that is the root problem of most people's problem nowadays. We've chosen, or we've been conditioned by our society, by our parents from birth, with these self-limiting, restrictive belief system, but it's not really yours. It's not yours. It's just been passed on, and it's up to our generation. And it's up to us right now, you right here, right now, to put a stop to it. And that is huge, and that is a powerful, powerful shift and a powerful change that you're making. and you should be honored for that. Honored. So here I'm going to go through what our old beliefs that a lot of us continually tell ourselves, and I'm just going to get right into it right off the bat. The two biggest issues that people have that block their success are ultimately, or beliefs are ultimately, that we don't feel good enough, or we don't feel like we're going to matter. So we don't really know if we're going to matter, or we think somebody else matters more, and we just don't feel good enough. And that not enough feeling is something we really need to start identifying within ourselves, and we need to start flipping that and nipping it in the butt. And I'm going to show you how to do that shortly. So not enough time. Who here has ever, if you're watching this, have you ever had not enough time? And if you guys want to comment on the side as we go, I love seeing your guys' comments and knowing that there's people there. And I'll definitely interact, talk back and stuff like that. So that keep the comments going on the side. So not enough time has got to turn into lots of time. Not enough money. We've got to start believing that there's unlimited resources on this planet, because there's trillions of dollars circulating the planet every single day. There is plenty of money. Can't, should, I am not, that type of stuff. Oh, I can't do that, or, that's not for me. I'm not able to do that. No, it's I can, I will, I'm going to figure it out. I am going to do that. And just by that simple step of starting to give ourselves permission, even though it might not be 100% true right now, right today, well, it's never going to be true for us if we don't first give it permission. If we don't open the door to allow it into our lives, if we leave that door locked and closed with a deadbolt on it, no, not enough time, not enough money. That type of, and it's just thoughts, it's just our beliefs. So all we have to do is literally start playing with our reality and start flipping these stories that we are telling ourselves, and in these trigger moments, which I'll get into it shortly, what a trigger moment is. So we need to start turning our some days, or I'll get to it on New Year's, on Monday, tomorrow, into right now. I'm going to do something about it right now. I'm either going to do it right now, or I'm going to write it down and keep it in the planner and get it a part of my day. It's not someday. I'm going to take some sort of action on it right now, and getting used to that type of thinking. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to launch my business, or I'm not ready to quit my job. I'm not quite ready to start getting healthy yet. I'm not ready to, do that thing that I really know I should be doing. The bottom line truth is you are as ready as you will ever be right now. That's the bottom line truth of it. You are as ready as you'll ever be right now. And the sooner that you start, the sooner you will get there. That's how it works. And we can try and tell ourselves differently as much as we want, but it's just not true. So you're as ready as you'll ever be for whatever you want to do. And when we can open this door and have this, start giving ourselves permission in this way in life, that's when life truly starts to become magical, and you start manifesting stuff that, you've been dreaming about maybe for a long, long time. And it truly works in this way. Sorry, my slide keeps changing because I keep touching my mouse. So they won't let me, or they won't let me, or I'm not allowed, whatever it is. If it's your husband, if it's your work, if it's your staff, who's they? It's up to you. It's time to own our agenda. It's time to own our reality. And if some people get upset and some people have different opinions about the way you want to run your life, even though that's what you should be doing, tough luck kind of thing. It's time to really step up and start owning our fear stories and owning our limiting beliefs and giving ourselves permission. And in order to do that, you kind of have to put your foot down in a sense. You kind of have to start being your cheerleader and start standing up for ourselves on the inside. That's where this all starts. It's a you versus you, so it's all an inside game. So I'm too busy to, I don't have enough time. I'm too busy. No, I will make time. If no one's ever too busy and doesn't have enough time. If it's a priority and it's really important to you and it means something, just fit it. You will make time, especially if it's important to you. Don't deny yourself of amazing experiences that are going to allow you to feel good. You know, allow them into your life, even though it might ruffle some feathers, kind of thing. You know, just allow these things into our lives. Give ourselves permission. I am the way I am. I'm born this way. Yes, to a point, we have genetics, but you know, and we have control of our reality, whether it's your physical body or your outer reality. It doesn't really matter. You can start moving in a direction that you prefer versus sitting in one that you don't like. If you don't like something and it doesn't feel good, that's the sign. That's the only sign that it needs to change, and it can change, and it's supposed to change. If something doesn't feel good in life, it's supposed to change. That's life telling you, hey, don't do this, or don't like get out of this situation, kind of thing. So it's if it doesn't feel good, it's supposed to change. That's how she goes. So as we begin to, so after that, we went through our fear stories. You're probably fairly you've narrowed down what your fear stories are at this point, I'm thinking. I'm sure you've said a lot of those a lot different times, but again, ultimately the root of most of our stories, or the root of where all of this stems from, is from the idea of we are not enough, or we don't feel enough, or we don't feel like we matter, or we feel like somebody else matters more than us. And that's ultimately the root limiting belief that's playing everybody. So the reason, you know, even if you've tried changing your beliefs, and you've tried to start to think positive, and you start to give yourself permission and all this stuff, as we adapt new beliefs, it takes time going through this belief cycle to truly start seeing the results in our life. Most of us, we live in such a transactional based world where we think if we put in 1 day of time, we're supposed to get this immediate return, or we're supposed to see this immediate result. And again, that's where so many people go wrong in weight loss and that type of thing, is we're expecting an immediate return and this immediate result all the time. And it works the same way with our beliefs, is we think because we start giving ourselves permission, we talk differently a little bit to ourselves, that everything's just supposed to change, you know, so fast. But it's a process, especially changing your belief system. It's a process. So as you adapt new beliefs about yourself, and as we recreate the new you, which we're going to do in this next slide, is we're going to recreate the new you, because it's been way too long that this old you, this limited you, this trapped you it's been dominating your life for too long. And the only way we're going to get out of that is by changing our beliefs about ourselves and about our life. And that's going to be the new you, which we're going to create very shortly. We're going to create the new you, who's going to be the empowered you, the new you who reacts differently than you've reacted before to these certain situations in life. So ultimately, in life, like, you know how, yeah, I'll get into it shortly. So if you're feeling exhausted, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like, you know, like you're on the hamster wheel of life, or the treadmill of life, and you feel like, how the heck am I ever going to get out of this? Or I don't see any of these big changes I want ever happening. It feels like I go, and I'm just not getting anywhere. That's called the trapped life. And we've all been there. I've been there. I was just there, you know, a few months ago, last month. And it's not a good feeling at all. It feels like it feels like you can't do anything. But really, the reason we get locked in that trapped life is because our limiting belief, or the old us, is basically stuck in a pattern of talking ourselves down, and just, it's like we're stuck in a self-limiting thought and belief pattern, and it gets to the point where we feel trapped, until one day we just basically let go and something happens and we change something up and then we get unstuck and keep moving. But the reason it keeps going in cycles like that is because we just end up back in the same old patterns we always started with. So the idea of recognizing those old patterns, those old fear stories, is a huge, huge first step. And now that we recognize them, we can start to move more towards, you know, an enriched life. The middle ground would be your comfortable life. So your comfortable life is where, you know, life feels good. You don't feel trapped. You're not like super overwhelmed or exhausted, but it's just not quite fulfilling. You know, you could be happy. Your life could be more exciting. You could be working a better job, a different job. You could be a little bit healthier, but you're happy. You're comfy. You know, that's kind of the comfortable life. And then we want to get to this place where life is amazing and life is, you know, challenging, but in a good way, challenging in a way that makes you grow and become a better person. And living a life where we're excited about our job and excited about the work we do and excited about the people that we surround ourselves with. And we're just downright excited about the day that we've created for ourselves because we've got out of our comfort zone and because we started to take some risks and because we started to become a different person and react differently and you know, just do it differently. It's like, that's the money spot. And that's when life truly becomes what we call fulfilling, what we call an enriched life. So we're going to do an exercise now. And if you don't have your workbook printed, just grab a pen and paper. And ultimately, I've already talked about the old me and the new me, and I've already talked about how we were going to do this. So let's get into it. So on the left-hand side, you have your old me box. And the old me is the you. So here's a good way of identifying the old me. Here's a good question you can ask yourself. You can ask yourself, when you're faced with adversity in life or you're faced with a challenge, who is the person you become and how do you normally react? So when you're faced with adversity or you're faced with a challenge or, you know, you're kind of put on the spot in life, who's the person you become and how do you react? It's really probably two different ways. You either get really angry and high energy and forceful and force your way through the situation. That's more kind of the man way or the male way, I guess you could say. Not saying if you're female that's not possible for you, but I guess that I would say that's more of the male way to do it, would be force and get angry and rough and plow through it. And then the other way would be more so, which, you know, I do both ways, but I would call more the feminine way would be we kind of just shut down or kind of stuff it under the table or pretend like it doesn't exist, just kind of ignore it and move on or suppress it kind of thing. So there's kind of, when we're faced with adversity in life or you're faced with a challenge in life, who do you become and how do you react? And I want this person to become the old you. Because starting right now, we're going to start moving into the new you. And we're going to use what we call trigger moments in life. When life throws you adversity or when you feel your old self coming up, we're going to use those as trigger moments to react differently in that situation. And that's what this is all about. The old you is the you with the limiting belief system. And the new you is ultimately going to be you giving yourself permission. It's going to be the opposite of the old you. And the new you is going to come out in these trigger moments in life throughout your year. Oh, I got to put my presentation back up here. All right, I think we're still going. All right, so the old you is your old self-limiting belief system. Another good way to identify the old you is when you're faced with adversity or a challenge, or the other good question is, When your expectations in life aren't met, or you don't get what you want, in other words, your expectations, even if it's something little like so-and-so was late for a meeting, or you had to, whatever, something goes off in your day and your expectation wasn't met, who is the person you become, and how do you react in those situations? Those two questions are going to help you identify the old you and the you that reacts from a fear state. And this is this is the person that we're going to start getting to know a little bit better. This is the person that we're going to start catching in the moment, in those trigger moments when our expectations aren't met, or we're faced with a challenge or adversity, or we start procrastinating. Procrastination, that's a huge habit that our fear state limiting self uses, is procrastination and laziness and all that. Anytime we have any of that stuff going on, that's the old me coming out. That's the old you coming out. That's the you that is limiting itself. That's the you that's not, believing something's off. So we need to start recognizing those trigger moments. We need to start catching ourselves in those trigger moments and understanding that that isn't actually us. And who we actually are is who we define ourselves as and who we choose to be. And that's going to be the new you. So instead of procrastination, you're going to take immediate action on whatever's in front of you. That's what the new me is going to do. It's just going to instantly grab that thing and take action. And so whatever you've written down in the old me side, procrastination, laziness, the old me, doesn't believe they're good enough, doesn't believe they matter enough, all that type of stuff, whatever came up for you in the old me side, get it all written down. Now we're just going to basically write the opposite in the new me side. We're going to start reacting from an empowered mindset, from a ultimately, yes, an empowered state of being. And we're going to use this concept of old me versus new me in the trigger moments in your life throughout your day when your old me starts creeping to the surface. And we're not going to treat the old me bad. We're not going to slam it away. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to greet it and say, hello, old me. How are you doing? It's okay that you've surfaced. I understand that you're only operating from my old belief system and that you're only trying to do what's best for you, what you've been doing for years. But the new me is here, and I got this. I got your back. You don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. You don't have to come to the surface and procrastinate and worry and beat us up anymore. I got this. I'm here for us. The new me is here, and I got this. And I'm going to react right now in this moment accordingly. I'm going to prove to you, old me, that the new me is here by reacting accordingly, by reacting from this empowered state, the opposite of how I reacted before. This, my friends, if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, that moment right there is the breakdown of your old limiting belief system. Every time you're able to catch yourself and react from your new me reaction state, which is empowered, feeling good, taking action, going forward, challenging yourself, getting out of your comfort zone, taking that risk. Anytime you don't challenge your old me. Anytime you say, hi, old me, I'm going to take it from here, and you follow through and take the action necessary, you're breaking those old patterns. You're literally breaking the shackles off of you that have been holding you back from absolutely flying in life. We're literally cutting the weights from the strings that have been holding us down. Every time that we can nip the old me, not nip it in the butt, again, that's mean. I want to be nice to the old me. I want to let it know that it's okay. I want to let it know that the new me has got it. I don't want to be mean to it anymore. Because so often people get in the personal growth game and we suppress our negative emotions and our negative feelings and all this stuff. We suppress it, and we're actually too hard. We're being hard on ourselves about it. And we can't be hard on our old me. We can't, because the reason it's like the way it is because it's been beat up and beat on for so long. So we need to start loving it and treating it nice. And we need to start embracing it and accepting that that parts of ourselves that technically we don't like. We have to start embracing and loving the parts of ourselves that we don't like, the parts of ourselves that we technically hate. And that is the that is the paradigm shift. That is the perception shift that should be happening right now for you, is when you embrace your old me, when you have a little mini talk with it inside of yourself, and you align with your new self and your new reaction, and then you follow through in that moment with your new reaction, you are rewiring your brain. You are rewiring your reality to be in alignment with everything that you want and could possibly dream of. You're rewiring it with everything that you are, the wholeness of your being, when we align with that new you, when we react from a empowered state of being versus a fear state. It's a completely different world that we start creating. And it's truly magical. If there's anything in life that's magical, it's that concept right there, because it starts to shift your realities in ways that you know, we can hardly imagine, in ways that are deep down our soul already knows what makes us feel best. So it just starts aligning with that soul level life that we're all trying to live, you know, with deeper meaning, deeper purpose, all that kind of stuff. So I hope that exercise is powerful for you. I hope you were able to describe your old me, and I hope you were able to identify it within yourself throughout your day, and I hope you got a good handle on that. And I truly, truly want you to go out and start embracing it when it comes up and flipping this around and letting your new me shine through, because that is what breaks those old limiting belief systems, and that is what will allow you to be successful in any category in life that you choose. That process right there. So now let's get into life and how the heck do we, so that process right there is going to reduce our overwhelm or is going to help us ultimately achieve more success in life. And the other part, or the other promise of this webinar, is I'm here to help you achieve more success in life, but without constantly being overwhelmed and exhausted. So we're kind of getting into the without constantly being overwhelmed and exhausted category. And the reason most of us are so overwhelmed and exhausted is you just found out our limiting belief system is draining all our energy ultimately, but also we're out of whack. We're out of balance in the day, and we're not putting enough time into the life categories that are truly going to make us feel good all around. Because as a human, you know, we need to do more than just work and make money. We need to have healthy relationships. We need to work on ourselves. We need alone time. We need that me time where it's just me with me, so we can get our minds straight and reconnect with our new me. And because the old me can just take over and run your life if you don't get that me time. And then it turns into craziness. So there's different factors in life to maintain overall balance. And that's ultimately the concept I want to get into with you now, is the concept of looking at your life more so in categories, because we're going to feel overwhelmed and exhausted if we don't have like a life map. And ultimately these 4 life zones are kind of like your life map. So anytime we're out of whack or out of balance, it's usually something to do with one of these 4 categories. Life zone number 1, category 1, is your health. So your health is, you know, it's like your health and your energy and how you feel. So it's kind of like your relationship with you and your energy and your health, and it's you. It's how you're able to show up to the day is life zone number 1. So when we look at if we're overwhelmed and we're unbalanced, all that, look how much exercise are you doing? What are the types of foods you're eating? How much me time are you getting? And how much of your life is truly about you feeling good? You know, and that might give you a good indication of why you might feel overwhelmed and exhausted. Your health and your me time, all that might be out of balance. Section number 2, or life zone number 2, is your relationships. How are your relationships feeling? Your relationships with your coworkers, with your employees, or your boss, or your clients, your relationship with your husband when you get home at night, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your kids, family members, you have friends, all that type of stuff. Where are the relationships at in your life? And our life zone number 3 is our money. And money's kind of a funny one. It's kind of an old school word. But money ultimately is kind of like your career or your passion or your purpose kind of thing. It's kind of your career, passion, purpose, and how you're making money. And let's just face it, when we don't have money or money's tight, it doesn't feel good. And life is overwhelming and life is exhausting when money is low. So of course, having money affects the overall how we feel in the day. And then category number 4 is our time. So our daily routine. So do we like our day? Do we like where we spend our time in the day, day after day? You know, do we like our daily routine is ultimately what it comes down to. So we got our health and energy, we got our relationships, we got our career and money, and then we have our daily routine. And when we can start looking at life in more so of these categories, we can start narrowing down which category is really hurting. Because just like health, life is holistic. I'm sure you've heard of holistic health before. Well, that's very, very true. That and all holistic health means is that like it's not just the food we eat that affects our health. It's also the exercise, and it's also yoga and meditation and our lifestyle and how much fresh air we get and how hydrated we are. Like it's a holistic process. Health is not just one thing, and that's the same with life. Instead of looking at it just everything scattered and above us and overwhelmed and all over the place, we need to start, sectioning it off so we have a bit of a roadmap to follow. So now we're going to get into the focus wheel. So on your, either draw this out if you haven't printed out the workbook, or if you have printed out the workbook, use your workbook. And what the focus wheel is going to help you do is it's going to help you give yourself a rating of the different categories in your life and where you're at right now. And it's going to give you a very good idea of your weakest links and what might be the root cause of your overwhelm and your exhaustion. Oftentimes we get caught up in life, a lot of us, especially if you're like me, you get caught up working and making money and striving and being successful in that way. But when we're spending all our time in our business and money, sometimes our fun meter goes down, or sometimes our food gets put to the back burner. We get dehydrated, or we forget to exercise, or we forget to call our family, or we forget about our wife, or we forget about our husband. And then we get to a place where life gets overwhelming and exhausting and frustrating. We're spinning our tires, and we're putting all this energy in this one place where really we have to look 360 degrees around ourselves. Life is holistic. If one area is out of balance, it's going to affect the whole. Just like the body is holistic, if your liver is not working, it's going to affect the entire body. If you break your foot, well, the whole body gets affected. The whole thing can't move properly. So one part of our life is going to affect the whole. And when one part is low and lacking, the whole lacks. So that's kind of the other paradigm shifting concept that I want you to understand. And you're really, really going to get a glimpse of this after we go through these ratings and connect the dots. So fitness. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would your fitness be right now? That would be exercising, whether it's cardio or weights. Give yourself a rank 1 to 10. Daily routine. So how much do you love your daily routine? Is your day awesome and exciting and amazing and you can't even hardly wait to get up out of bed, and you have a hard time going to bed at night because you just want to stay awake and keep doing what you're doing? That would be like a 9 or a 10. Or the opposite. You kind of dread your day. You're kind of like, oh, Monday again. Or you're excited about the weekend. Those are good signs that your daily routine, you're not enjoying your daily routine. So that'd be on the lower end of the scale. Next one would be family. So how much quality time with family do you spend? And just close family. So your kids or your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, or it could even be your parents or your brothers or your sisters. How much good quality time do you get with your family? And this is all individual and unique for you. So it's all about how you feel about it. So when you think of your family and you think of how much quality good time you spend with them, where would you rank that? The next category, sorry, I was just checking your questions for a second, or your comments. Great comments, guys. Thanks. Keep them up. Next category is diet and hydration. How is your healthy eating, and how hydrated would you say you are? How much water do you drink a day? If you're not drinking at least 2 liters, then you're most likely dehydrated. That's just a scientific fact, so I'm just throwing that out there. So just to give you an idea to help you rank yourself. So if you're drinking less than 2 liters, you should probably be on the lower end of the scale, unless you're a super healthy eater. Then you can rank a little higher. But diet and hydration, where do you sit with your healthy eating and your water intake? And money. Usually when we ask people this question, are you satisfied with the amount of money you have in your life? Whether it's a millionaire or you work minimum wage, most people say no. So money in life, how satisfied with you are you with your money in your life? Again, rank it 1 to 10. Me time and rest. Oops. So how much me time do you get? And me time is you with you. It's a lot of people say reading a book is my me time, but you're with your book, you're not with you. So unless it's like an Enriched Life workbook where you're really working on yourself and you're really spending time with you and your thoughts and yourself and your stuff and your dreams and how you feel and what you want in life, that is me time. Me time is you with you, just to really look at yourself and to give yourself a good look. And it could be rest, it could be a bath, it could be a walk even. You know, that's a good me time when you go for a nice walk in nature. That's kind of more me time. It's kind of like you're not really doing much. More of a meditation type feeling. Rank 1 to 10. Now your fun meter. How much fun are you having in life right now? Do you love your job? Do you love your friends, family life? How fun is your day? How much fun do you have in the week? Rank it 1 to 10. And presence. How present are you with the people and the activities in your life? Are you constantly jumping from the next thing to the next thing, and you don't have to-do lists, and you're unorganized, and you're all over the place and all that kind of thing? You might be lower on the presence scale. But if you're organized, if you're a fairly organized person and you got your T's crossed or whatever, your I's dotted, and when you have conversations with people, you really listen to them and you really try and tune into what they're saying, and you try and be present and feel what they're saying. Are you more on that scale, or higher end of the scale, or lower end of the scale for presence? So that completes the focus wheel. So you filled out all those dots around the focus wheel, the Enriched Life focus wheel. Now what I want you to do is connect a line from dot to dot and just take a look at how well your wheel rolls. Take a look at, is it unbalanced? Is it balanced? Are you all low numbers? Are you some low, some high? How well would your wheel roll? And the better your wheel would roll, the better you're gonna feel ultimately. So if your wheel is really lopsided, you got some that are super low and a couple that are really high, then it just means we got some work to do as far as focusing in those other key areas in our life. And that's okay. That's awesome, because now you know. Now you have direction. You know, before, the 4 life zones are like the overall map, but when we do the focus wheel, it actually gives us a road to go down. And I would pick, you know, your 1, 2, or 3 weakest links on this and start focusing more on incorporating that type of stuff into your day. And what types of habits could you fit in that are going to raise your numbers so you have a more balanced wheel? And when your wheel is more balanced, you're feeling better through the day, and life works better for you because it's holistic again, remember? So the better our wheel can spin, the better we're gonna feel. And that's the beauty of the focus wheel, is it gives you direction in life, and it allows you to breathe and say, you know what, I'm not just winging this. I don't just have everything floating around in my head and I'm randomly just rushing through everything every day. It's like, now I got direction. Now I got something I can focus on and a direction to head down. So to sum up what we just went through, by being aware of your trigger moments, those moments that kick you into a fear state, they happen all day, whether you start procrastinating, you get scared, you back down, sometimes you have an outburst, you get really angry. Those are called trigger moments. By being aware of your trigger moments and reacting from the new you and consistently checking in with yourself using your focus wheel to give you direction in life, you will, it's pretty much guaranteed, you will achieve more success in life without constantly being overwhelmed and exhausted. Because when that wheel starts rolling and you're reacting in the day from this empowered state of being, you start to create this momentum. And you start to create this momentum in your life, this positive energy, this positive movement, this positive ball gets rolling forward. You're balanced, you're feeling good, and you're reacting from an empowered state by simply catching our trigger moments, allowing our new you to start shining through, and checking in with ourselves on a regular basis to see where we're out of balance. By doing those two simple things, whether you want to do it every day or once a week, the new you stuff has to become your new habit. It has to become the new game that you play within yourself. And the focus wheel you do once a day, once a week. Whenever you feel out of whack, do the focus wheel. Whenever you feel overwhelmed or exhausted, boom, the focus wheel will tell you where to go. Every time it'll tell you where to go. And when you start improving that, you'll see how all of a sudden all those things you were struggling with just evaporate, because you're able to handle them because you're feeling good and the new you is showing up. So if I could coach you through the Enriched Life program, so we have a program that we've been running over the last 2 years. We've had dozens of people go through this program already. It's been the most amazing experience by far of my life, by far, that I've ever had in my life. It's the reason I'm here today, because of the results that our clients have got. So if I could coach you through the Enriched Life program and help you perform at your highest level and find a daily balance in your work and personal life, would you be in? Basically, I'm asking you, would you be in to take the Enriched Life program with me? We currently have lots of clients going through it, and it's awesome. It's been amazing so far. So I'm going to get into what the Enriched Life program even is. And if you notice on the sidebar, I just popped up a free strategy session. So I offer a free quick one-on-one phone call or Skype chat where we can discuss the program together and see if it's a good fit for you. So it's super easy. There's no obligations, nothing like that. So I'm going to get into and explain the program a little bit to you first, and I'll tell you more about the free session. So the Enriched Life program, there's 6 modules in the Enriched Life program, and module number 1 is called the Enriched Life Day. And this is somewhat similar to what we went through tonight, except ultimately I provide you with the Enriched Life daily and monthly organization and management tools that help you make these changes happen, that basically allow you to set goals for yourself and allow you to start shifting these habits and shifting your day, and almost guarantee your success if you follow our system to make them happen. It's the ultimate goal setting and planning system that will help you follow through and make the necessary changes in your life that will lead you to what we call your ideal day. That day that you love, that daily routine that I described, that's just amazing and exciting and all that, that Enriched Life Day. That's what module 1 is all about, is finding out what your Enriched Life Day is and start moving you towards that. We do a bunch of vision work and goal setting work, and it's truly the most powerful 1.5 hours of your life that you could experience. I had one session with a lady today, and it was amazing. Module number 2 is health and energy. So in this module, we look at our relationship with ourselves, and we look at how can I start generating more energy? How can I start freeing up energy in my life through my health and lifestyle habits, and also just in all areas of your life? How can we turn you into a vibrant, healthy, energetic machine? And it's not just food and lifestyle that we touch on in that course. It has to do with, there's a lot more in life that can take or give us energy. Module number 3 is all about improving relationships. So again, relationships are like obviously incredibly an important aspect of life. So we have a module dedicated to helping you, you know, narrow down the relationships in your life that are most important to you, and how you can improve those relationships. And also we become aware of maybe the relationships that we don't want to have around anymore, and how we can exit those relationships. And we just take a good look at the relationships that we do have, both with ourselves and with the closest people in our lives. And we assess them, and we start making improvements on those relationships so that our life can be better and their life can be better, and everyone can feel better and have a better life together. That was a lot of betters and togethers. Module number 4 is career building. So most people have a career, most people are working. So in this module, we're going to give you some tools and some skills that are going to help you get that higher position in your job, or make more money in your job, or become a more productive, successful entrepreneur. We're going to give you some career building tools that no matter where you're working or what you're doing, you're going to be able to use these skills to influence your workplace so that you can make more money and ultimately contribute more to the world around you, because that's really what our career is. Our career is how we give back to the world around us, how we give back to the community and all that. And the more you're able to perform at a higher level within your career, the more you're able to serve the planet and serve the world and give back to this beautiful planet. That's one of my favorite modules, career building. And that's one of my passions, is building businesses. So it's super fun, that one. Module number 5 is all about boosting productivity. So the Enriched Life Day gets you all set up, gets you everything laid out, everything on the table, and we start aligning your day and making the shifts necessary. And the boosting productivity module is all about how we can become more productive in the day. There's super simple actually habits that we can do and little tricks that we can do throughout the day that will boost our productivity instantly up to 25% per week. So one simple habit that you could start implementing tomorrow is boost your productivity weekly by 25%. And we also have some other daily task managing systems that we use that will boost your productivity as well. It's highly effective if you are into getting a lot done in a day, for sure. Module number 6 is overcoming roadblocks. So obviously in life, the new you might not be able to pull through sometimes, and the old us might take over, and we might get stuck in a rut or in a bit of a depression or this or that, or we might hit the brick wall and we just can't figure it out. Well, there's other factors in life that can affect us and can slow us down. And overcoming roadblocks in module 6 is a little bit more advanced personal growth training, where we kind of delve a little bit deeper into who we are and what we are and our emotions and our thoughts, and we show you how to overcome roadblocks when they appear, because on this path to an enriched life, it is a challenging life, and you do get yourself challenges yourself a lot, and there's different ways that we can get through that without hitting the lows of the lows kind of thing. So module 6, we touch on all the possible roadblocks that can happen moving forward. So that's the Enriched Life program. Ultimately, it will help you manage, organize, structure, and optimize your personal and business life so you can make more money and have the freedom to do what you love most. It will help you apply simple health, mindset, and lifestyle tools to help you maximize your energy, mental clarity, endurance, and passion and happiness. It's going to help improve your relationships in life, including yourself, your family, your friends, your boss, your business partners. And it's going to help you be able to spend more time with those you love and live more fully, all that good stuff. It's going to help you create a clear vision for your life and align you with your life's purpose is really what it does. It connects you to your truth, and it connects you to who you truly are and what you truly want, so that you can start expressing yourself from a soul level, from a deeper level, and impact the world in that way that you can. So again, I offer a free one-on-one strategy session, and it's usually about a 15 to 30-minute talk. And on the right side of the screen, you can click the Apply Now button and go over to the application form if you want to book your free one-on-one session with me. At the session, we just basically assess your current situation, and we just discuss the Enrich Life program and see if we're a good fit to work together. So it is an application form that you do have to fill out. And again, I would love to, I'm filling up my day with as many possible clients as I can right now, and I don't think it's going to take long before my schedule is full. So if you do want to get in for a session right away, that now is kind of the time. I want to talk to as many people as I possibly can. I want to help as many people as I possibly can. So if you're looking to continue with this training, and if you really enjoyed and you had a few aha moments today, this is only the beginning. And it really, for all that stuff in the last slide of how this program can help you, it might have been like, oh my God, it might be a little overwhelming, or you might not feel like you can do this, or you're, that whole feeling. The old me might be creeping up and not giving you permission to take this step forward, but it's not as scary as it seems, and it's not as scary when you have a teammate to do it with. And that's what I consider myself. I don't fully consider it a client-customer relationship if when we work together and when you take the Enrich Life program, it's a team game, and we do this together. And it's heck of a lot easier to get through life when you have when you're cheerleading yourself, but you also have that cheerleader to help, push you along and help, point you in the right direction when things get a little shaky. So, life coaching and high performance coaching, I believe, is one of the most beneficial things that anyone can do for themselves. Both Whitney, my wife, and I both have coaches, several different coaches. It's something we've used to get to the level of success that we've gotten to. And again, if you're looking to achieve more success in your life, if you're looking to overcome your overwhelm and exhaustion, and if you're looking to perform at higher levels and find that work-life balance so that you can succeed in life, but you could feel good at the same time, that's what Enrich Life is all about. And I would love to meet with you for that free one-on-one strategy session and discuss more about your life. So you can, let me know where you're at, what you're going through, and I can give you some guidance, and we can discuss if we want to work together. And again, there's no obligations to join. I want to book as many of these sessions as I possibly can. So click that Apply Now button on the right side of the screen and head over to the application form, fill it out. There's a couple questions to answer on there, and send it in, and we can meet shortly. And I would really, really enjoy that. So thank you so much for attending. It's always funny because I had sessions today one-on-one live with people, but with these webinars, you don't have anyone talking back. So it's a little funky doing them, but I had a lot of fun doing my best to get this message across. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope that it sparked something in you. I hope that the new you starts running the show. I hope that the new you starts leading the dance with your life, and the older you can start taking a break and use that focus wheel to, anytime you're feeling overwhelmed, out of whack, out of balance, where's your focus wheel? It'll point you in the right direction. So thank you for attending. Book your free strategy session. I'd love to talk to you and continue this discussion. And that is about it. Thank you everybody for coming. I'm just gonna go check the chat soon, very quickly. And it looks like there's no real questions. So if any of you guys have any questions, again, apply for the strategy session or just send me an email, and I can get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you so much for coming out, for taking the time to invest in your life and invest in your future, and have an amazing weekend. And I will be in touch shortly, and we will be hosting another webinar or workshop in January. We also so you'll be hearing about that as well. It'll be different than this one. So Thank you very much, and I will see you again.